Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Just put a thumbs up if you can. Okay, good. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Um, thank you for joining us tonight for our class. We're just going to wait to see if any new people come. So in the meantime, if you have not gotten a bowl of water, some paper towels, a paint or a paper plate to maybe put some paint on, baby wipes, they do wonders for getting it off your hands and also off your gourd where you don't want it. And I think I hit everything.
I think so.
So we're just gonna wait just a second or two here. I just want to make sure I don't lose anybody. And okay, I think we are good to go. Okay, right now you guys are all on mute. If you do have a question for us, you can unmute yourself, ask the question, then mute yourself back up. Just because sometimes life in everybody's household can sometimes get loud. So dogs barking, kids crying, whatever's going on in your home tonight. So just keep yourself on mute. You can also chat with us. I have the chat up and I also have okay. And I also have the participants up so I can see who's on and everything. My name is Dori. I'm the retail manager here at Meadowbrook Gourds, and I've been here for 30 years, so I came right from the beginning and have worn a couple hats. So I've done a lot of things in different areas. When you start out at a small company, you kind of have to go where you're needed. So I'm also the technical portion of all of this. So if you see me looking over, I'm looking to see if anybody has said that they didn't get the link or anything like that. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking. And this is
Yes, my name is Amber. I am what we call a gourd beautician, and so I do a lot of what we're going to be doing tonight. And so I'm a teacher within the company. I did not rotate around the company like Dory has. I've been here since full time since 2019, and I started on Farm Crew in 2017. So been
she
here
did the
for
backbreaking work before she got inside.
yes, yes.
So hopefully all of you are here to make this adorable little bunny just in time for spring. I think spring's what, in 2 days?
I have no
I think
idea.
the first day of spring is in 2 days. So we're hoping. It's been pretty cold here in Pennsylvania. Lots of wind. I don't know what the thing is with the wind this year,
It
but
can stop anytime.
yeah, it can. So Amber's going to go over
Yep.
everything that you should have in your kit.
Yep.
If you are missing anything, please email me or let me know in the chat or unmute yourself. I will make sure that you get that part sent out to you right away.
Okay. So, a couple of different pieces. You would have had a larger bag that everything came in, and then a smaller bag like this that things came in. In the larger bag, I believe you would have had your bottom, so your little base or belly, your head, and then you would have had this wood biscuit, I believe. If not, that came in your other pack, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you have those parts, that's great. You should also have 2 ears for the bunny, a little greenery bag, your paints, your sponge, a paintbrush, toothpick, 2 cotton swabs, some glue, and then your ribbon. I think I got everything. And like Dory said, if you don't have any of those items, just please let us know and we will absolutely send that out to you guys. But this is what we're making, as you can see. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
I'm going to put him over to the side here.
So we can see it.
So we can see it, and also we'll flip it around if we need to show you different things. So,
yeah.
Okay, where are we going to start?
All right. Well, let's start with our face.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to use the small paintbrush. Now I will add, if you have any paint markers at home and you would much rather paint this little face with a paint marker, that is what we typically do, but we couldn't send out a whole bunch of, that would be just way too much fun.
Yeah, way too much paint.
Yes, yes. So we're gonna use this little paintbrush and you're gonna need your paints. I do want to add as well, if there is colors on here that you don't typically care for, you're more than welcome to use them at whatever you have at home. So you don't have to use the colors. I am going to use the colors that we have here just because that's what I have in front of me. So first thing that we're gonna do is we are going to paint our eyes.
Okay.
So go ahead, I'm gonna just open up my black and I'm gonna dip my paintbrush into. Now, if you have done some of these classes before, I typically have you wet your paintbrush first. Whenever we're doing eyes like this, we want it to be pretty thick, and so we don't have to worry about a lot of the lines that you'll see in the gourds if you're painting with a paintbrush. So I'm gonna say just go ahead and not wet your paintbrush and just go ahead and paint.
And we should let you know that the paints that you are working with are latex paints. So it's very much like the paint that you would paint your walls in your house with. So although it will come off your hands with soap and water, clothes not so much. So just be a little careful.
And I do want to say too, if we go, if I go a little too fast, just message us or like turn your mic on and be like, hey, slow down. And I will slow down.
You do that a little bit more than I do because this is what you do all the time.
Yeah.
So you tend to just do it as a second nature type thing where the
Yep.
rest of us are like, nope.
Yes. And this is recorded too. So if I happen to just go too fast and you can't get your mic to work and the message isn't working or something's not working, it's recorded. So you can absolutely go back to it. Dory's going to send it out through an email
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. So you
Yep.
can reference that then too. I know I've heard people, they prefer not to actually do the class with us the night of. They prefer us to just send it to them and they do it on their own. So, and that's okay too.
Yep.
So once you get your eyes painted, I'm going to go ahead and paint my nose. So I'm just going to use the pink paint that we have here. And I'm going to paint the little nose. Fun fact, the face of this gourd of the bunny is actually burned, like wood burned. So, yeah.
It makes it easy to stay in the lines when you do it that way too.
Yeah.
I'm putting a second coat on my eyes.
Yeah, I thought.
For some reason, I think I was a little too soft.
Yeah.
And so I thought I needed a little bit more.
And since the faces are wood burned, we typically draw, we use pencils to draw a pattern on them. So I'm looking at mine and I can see some pencil marks on them. Just take an eraser to it and it'll come right off.
So that takes care of that. And now I just need to do my little nose.
Yes, I'm gonna go back to my eyes.
Oh, sometimes my pink is kind of, it separates because you know how latex paint separates. So if that happens to you, just shake it up a little bit and you'll get everything all mixed together again. There we go. All better.
So yeah, I'm just going through and doing a second coat on my eyes. I did already paint my nose. And then once I'm done with the second coat of the eyes, I will go back and do my nose again. And you do not have to do a second coat on anything. You can do as many coats or as little coats as you would like.
And I went outside my line, so this is where my baby wipes come in handy. Just a
Yes.
nice little, just slices it right off of there before it dries.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now I'll finish painting. Okay.
All right.
That was painless.
All right, so we'll set. Mine's pretty dry. Are your eyes dry?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll just keep going.
Okay, I'll just put that to the side then.
While we have our paintbrush out and that pink paint, what I think I want us to do is I want us to put the pink on our ears with our paintbrush.
Okay.
Now with these ears, there is going to be a side that is more round and a side that is or a top and a bottom, and the bottom is going to be the one that's straight. So that's going to be what you're going to want to put into the hole of your head here. So just for reference there, so you know where to put your pink coloring at. And also, we have a side preference whenever we actually glue these ears into our gourds. And if you can't tell the difference, that is a-okay. I just want to let you know that there is a difference that we see, and I will tell you what the difference is. So one side looks just rough, and the other side looks like it has like little like polka dots on them. The polka dots are going to be towards the back. So the rougher side is what you're going to want towards you, and that's the side that you're going to want to paint the pink on.
Yeah, the one that has the polka, what she's calling like the polka dot, it's more flat.
Yes.
It's not rough at all. I don't know if you guys can see.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. That is the flat side. And then that is the bumpy side. You can kind of see the bumps more. And the bump is going to make it look nicer than like that flat side with the polka dots.
Yes.
So hopefully that helped. Okay, and so how are we pinking?
So I'm just taking my paintbrush and dipping it into the pink paint. Now I'm getting some of that paint off though, off my paintbrush. Just so it depends on how dark you want your pinked ears to be and how light. If you don't want them so dark, get a lot of that paint off. And then I'm just going down the middle of it, and I did mine way too light.
Okay, sorry, you couldn't see what you were doing, so I moved it out of the way. Okay, so just take a little pink and then just go down through the middle.
Yep, just right down the middle, and you can do it as wide or as thin as you would like. It's your piece, so it's just preference. And like I said, you're more than welcome to use a different colored pink. I'm just going to use the original has what we have in our kit here. And I also like it because it ties into
the nose and the whole thing.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So, like I said, you can make it as thin or thick of a stripe in the center, and you can make it as dark or as light as you would like.
Now to see if I can get the other ear to be
To match.
to match. They never seem to match the way they're supposed to.
I know. Honestly, we pink our own ears in the back, and I am one of the ones that will pink them, along with my coworkers that work with alongside of me. And
I'm sorry. We paint on the flat or the bumpy side?
The bumpy side.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Side. You're good.
Yep. It's confusing, I know. So yeah, so we literally take our paintbrush and we'll just like throw it. Like we won't.
Are you saying we're overthinking?
just a little bit. And I know that I am, and that's why it's like strange to me to like
really think about it.
Yeah, we just go and throw it.
I think they look pretty together.
I just spilled my water everywhere.
You what? You spilled your water everywhere?
Just a little bit.
Oh, gee whizzies.
It's okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna go back to our face, just so that I want our head to be completely done. And then we'll go and do our bottom.
Okay. So we can close the pink for right now, right?
For right now. Yep.
Okay.
I want us to go ahead and do the white flecking of these eyes. So
And the
you'll
nose.
see- And then little nose. So that's what we're gonna do next. And you're gonna need your toothpick. And we're gonna need our white.
Okay. So we have to laugh. I have to tell you a little story while you're getting the stuff here. So normally Amber bags these up herself.
Mhm.
This time we had one of the guys, he's actually our shipper, and we asked him to bag them up. And so normally when we do this, we have to tell everybody that the single ones are the glue and the white is what's connected to the paint. God love him. He wanted to make sure you guys did not get confused. He even put them in a little bag with a sign on them. So leave it to Travis to outdo us.
Yeah.
He's one up.
Yes, for sure.
So, okay.
Okay. So you're going to take your Q-tip or toothpick. There we go. And to dip that into your paint, your white paint, and then you're just gonna draw a line. That's it.
I'll leave this up here so that you guys can kind of see.
Yep.
And so it's kind of like from a 12 to 2.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. But I'll leave them sit there for a little bit.
Just a line. And like I said before with the pinking of the ears, it just depends on how thick you want that line. Just watch how much paint you get onto your toothpick, and that'll give you either a thinner or a thicker line. And honestly, you can go as far down as you would like with these, as you would, so yes. And then once you get your eyes done, you'll just do a little line across the top of the nose on the right hand side. But again, you can absolutely do whatever you would like with the face of these, but that is what it looks like. And then we do not need our toothpick. We're all done with that. And the white. No, we need the white.
You will need the white. A lot of white.
Yes.
One eye got really good. The other eye,
That's okay.
not so much, but it's doable.
Yep, that's okay. Still looks good. And
Well, you know what I have to do, don't you?
I would, yeah. That's
See,
it.
this is why they put me in the retail store. I will go back and I'll do that face then.
Yeah, and this is why we really like to use baby wipes, and we definitely express that a lot, that
Yeah.
we use those because it's easy. Like she just wiped that right off. Some of the black did come off, so she's just gonna fix the black.
And then I can fix the rest of him when it's dry. So,
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and sponge our body.
Okay.
So what you're gonna want to do is dump out the rest of your pink that you have onto your plate.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna move the little guy over here again.
And honestly, mine is not coming out really well, so I'm going to just take the back of my paintbrush and scoop it out. But yeah, you're gonna want that entire first container. Leave your second container in with the paint in it. Like don't empty both of your pinks out. Just do the one for now. And you'll see why. Okay. And then you're going to take your sponge and you're going to wet your sponge. You're going to soak it in your water, and you want it to be completely wet. To where, and you just kind of squish it a little bit, and it'll really get the water to soak up into it. And then you're gonna wanna take it out of your water and wring it out so that it's not dripping wet with water. And then we can use it. So when you look at your sponge, you just want to see what side of the sponge, like mine, I really only have one side that's
Like
gonna
I
get
say,
it
mine's a
to-
big one, so I have, you want to look for
That's
all the
perfect.
little nooks and crannies like an
Yeah.
English muffin.
Yes, that is a great explanation of it. I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's like an English muffin.
It truly is. So you want to find that side of the sponge, and then you're going to dip your sponge into your paint, and we're gonna just sponge just this solid color first. You do not have to have the whole thing covered. You just want it to be,
A base coat.
yeah.
And I hold mine in my fingers like this because you can spread them apart
Mhm.
and it makes it very nice. You can just kind of swivel it around.
Yep.
So
I'm just gonna go ahead and just sponge this all over, and I'm just dab it, like you can see in the video there. I'm just literally dabbing this. Now, what I will tell you is I would take your sponge and get into the cutouts. If you aren't able to get into the cutouts very well with your sponge, absolutely take your paintbrush and get in there. I just think getting into the cutouts makes it just look a little bit more complete. And if you're gonna be like have the paint pretty solid then around the cutouts, and that's okay. We are going to be sponging over that, and I definitely am going to need my paintbrush for
yeah, me too.
that. Not getting in there
Like you want.
yes. So I would get in the cutouts first, just so that you don't forget about it.
Yeah. It's not hard to get into them with your paintbrush.
No, and that way, if your paintbrush like skips out of this and like gets onto the gourd and you like draw a line,
No biggie.
yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. That's why I want to do it first as well. So yeah, let's get in those cuts. And you do not need to paint the top
Okay.
or the very bottom. We are going to be gluing the head onto the top and then the base onto the bottom, so you won't see it. Now, I will say too, with us painting the cutouts here, when we go to sponge the mixture of the colors, you do not need to go in and try and sponge
No,
the cutouts.
just do
So,
the base color
yes.
in there. So while we are doing this, I'll give you a little bit of update as to what's going on at the farm here. We are finally, even though it's been a little chilly, we have our high school kids and middle school kids coming in, and we're actually picking them up out of the fields now. So they were out there all winter long and dried, and now they're finally ready to come in. I think Ashley said we have about 3/4 of them in already. They have just a little bit more to do, and then once they get in, we have them in these big bins, and then we have to sort them according to size and shape, and then they get stored like that until we're ready to use them. So it's quite a process, but we're finally getting in and getting that done. So that's always good.
Yes. Okay, so I just want to show if you can see, yeah, you can see that it's not completely covered, but it is majority. So there's some of that gourd showing through. I have had people kind of just want to make it all solid, and that's okay. If you want to do that, absolutely go right ahead.
Right. You want a pink bunny, you make a pink bunny.
Absolutely.
Or if you want a white bunny, you make a white bunny.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the white paint.
Yeah.
You could.
You could do whatever you want. You could make a white head on your pink bunny.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So
I
then
think I'm all caught up now.
once you get that first coat on, I still have a little bit of paint left.
Yeah, me too.
On mine. So I'm just going to scoop out my white paint because we won't need the white anymore. So you can scoop all of that white paint out and then the remainder of your pink paint.
That comes out very easy.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm also gonna dump out the rest of my,
The other pink.
the other pink.
Okay.
Yeah. I think. This is gonna be our mixture now.
Yeah. Okay.
You do not need to let your piece dry before you sponge this next layer. And you do not need to rinse your sponge out. You can just let it just like it is.
Okay.
And what's really nice is this type of painting of the gourd. It's just, I mean, sponging, but you can make it look whatever way you want. So I could make mine look completely different than Dori makes hers. It's just all in how you want it to look. But I will tell you a couple different techniques of how to do this to make it look like this.
Almost like marbleized.
Yeah. So if your paint, even if your paint isn't dry, is already dry, if your paint's not dry, one way you could do this is take your sponge, dip it into your white paint, and sponge the white. That is going to give it a super white look. And then you could go back through and sponge the pink color on there. That is one way. The other way is the way I'm going to show you, is how we do it in the back in production. I'm going to dip my sponge into the pink, dab a little bit of that paint off, dip it into the white paint and dab that off too, so that it starts to get like a mixed. And then I'm just going to go sponge. If there's not enough pink and not enough white, just go back and do that again. Now, whenever you get your sponge kind of dry as you're sponging it, I would suggest, if you want it to be mixed like that first time you use your sponge, I would do it exactly how I told you to do it again. So I would dip it into your pink paint, dip it into your white paint, dab that off a little bit, and then keep going. And I would just keep doing that. But again, you are more than welcome to do the white all at once and then go back through with your pink, and that should get you semi the same
Kind of texture.
yeah, it just all depends on how heaviness that you go. Like even now Dory's is lighter than mine. Like you can just see it, it's all in how you want yours to look.
I'm a very rough sponger. I like to really hit it. So, but I do want a little bit more pink, so I'm just going to go back on and just do some of the darker pink.
And I will say too, with that, if you want it darker, I would absolutely let it dry. Let it dry and then go back through with a dark, just because with it being wet, it's still going to mix in with the white.
Yeah.
So. And sometimes I have also gone back through with just white very lightly on my sponge and sponged it then.
Well, it's kind of funny. I've actually sponged things and put it all together and do it, and then I look at it and like, it needs something like white, or so then as it's already put together and it's already done, and then I have to go back and and do it all over again. But that's the nice thing about sponging. It's like you really can't do it wrong.
No, you can't, unless you're taking your sponge and sliding it.
Yeah, don't slide. I've done that before too. So okay, so that is mine. And I even have a little bit of, you can kind of, it almost seems like there's a little bit of the gourd that comes through too.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Yeah, I love having the gourd, natural gourd color come through.
My fingers are a mess. Oh well.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go back here and see about doing my little eye now.
I'm almost done with this. Okay. And I do want to add too, the whole purpose of me dipping it into the sponge into the paint and then dabbing it on the plate is so that when you put it onto the gourd, it's not so heavy.
Yep, it's so thick.
Yeah. So that's it with that sponge. Here's what mine looks like. And yeah. You're more than welcome to keep your sponge or do as you please with it. So I'm just going to rinse mine out just a little bit here.
Okay, how is everybody doing? We only have one person who has their camera on, so it's kind of hard to gauge if we're going too fast, too slow. So, I haven't seen anything and no one's come on to say we're going too fast, so I'm assuming we're doing okay. But, while you guys are finishing up, I just wanted to go over, I was gonna try and clean my fingers, but, I wanted to show you some of the upcoming classes if you haven't seen them already. So let me stand up here for just a second. Let's see. So this is a class that we're going to be doing in May. So it comes with a little birdhouse. And then if you can see, it has a little egg in a nest. And then it comes with the little, let me turn back here, the little bluebird. The little bluebird can sit on there with it, or it can set, you can sit it off to the side. The other thing I really like about it is that if you don't want to glue this down, you could actually put a battery operated tea light, and then like the little birdhouse could light up with the battery operated tea light with the little bird. That is going to be May 20th, and it's $45. It is a Zoom class, and that does include your shipping. So if you're interested in doing that, I know that spots are still open for that. And then our June Zoom class is a whale. So this is the whale. It's $37.50. This was actually, we do local artists in our store, and they come in and they buy our gourds, but then they do their own things with them. Yep. And this is, his name is Dustin, and he's made this whale for a long time. And we decided that what better class for June, the beginning of summer, than a whale. So if you have, you know, a coastal design in your house in any of the rooms or just to put out, he's really super cute. So we will help you put the little whale together. That is June 17th. And like I said, he's $37.50 and there's room for him too. So I just wanted to update you on the upcoming classes. As the tractor goes by with a bunch of gourds. So I don't know if you can hear it or not, but okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and glue everything together. So at this point, we have everything painted. So
will you do my fleck in my eye?
yes, I can do.
Here, I got white.
You can do the fleck in your eye. Let me.
I've done it twice now, and it's just not working for me. So I will let the pro do it.
It's just gonna be. It's too thin. I need.
It doesn't match my other one.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, at this point, you should have everything painted.
Mm-hmm.
And then. Okay. Okay.
That's perfect. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Oh, and I do want to add too, this little stem that we have up here, it's just wire. So if you don't want that on your head, this just gives us something to hold on to while we're painting it. So if you don't want that on your head, absolutely just take wire cutters and cut that off. You don't want to use scissors because it'll dull your scissors. And it's just harder to cut it with scissors. So you'll need your glue, your Q-tip.
I love it.
And then you'll need your ears. So we're gonna glue our ears first. I think that's what I want us to do.
The glue that we're using is Aleene's tacky glue. So it's really nice. And when you put it on, it does dry clear. So it's, and it holds very well.
Yes, yes. All right, so I'm just dipping my Q-tip into the glue. And then I'm going to put the glue on the back side of the hole
For the ear.
for the ears.
Okay.
Yep. You don't have to have it on the front, but if you get it on the front, that's okay. Just on the sides and the back is what I would do.
Okay.
And then you'll take your ears to get them into these holes. We bend them in half. These are just Pellin, so they are very bendy. So don't worry about breaking them. And then I just like to push down into the center of this and bend it. Just
You
like that.
almost make like a, it's very tiny.
Yep. You do not have to bend it the whole way to the top, just the very bottom where that flat edge is. And you're just gonna stick that right down into the hole there. And Dori is showing you that you can take your little paintbrush and shove that down in just to get it to seal on the back there.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna do it with both ears. So, and yes, sometimes these get super, super tough. Like my first year was easy, breeze. And then this one was a little tougher.
Yeah, this, yeah, they, I guess it all depends on the material.
Yes,
What you
well,
like.
we paint these, and so it just depends on how thick this paint is what I've learned.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yes. But if you're having trouble, we will typically use a heat lamp and heat these ears up to put them into our gourds and make it a little nicer for us as we're putting them in, because it's hard on the fingers as you do a couple of them. And we do runs of like at least 100, if not 200. So it's a lot of ears. You could put them in the microwave, just a couple seconds, not a long time, or you can sit on them.
Sit on them. That's interesting.
Yes.
Sit on your ears.
Yes.
Sit on the bunny ears. Okay. So
So-
there's my little head.
So you will just put those ears in, and then your ears are good. And so next we are going to, let's go ahead and glue our gourd onto our base. So I'm going to,
Oh, the,
yeah. Okay. I'm going to, I was just thinking of how I wanted you guys to do this. I'm just going to take my Q-tip again and put a ring of glue around the entire bottom of the gourd there, just where it's like sanded, where we cut it. And don't worry about having too much that it squeezes out on the sides, because we are going to put grass, greenery around the bottom. So nice thick coat is what I would do. That way it's, your base really sticks on there. If you don't have enough, it just won't get a good hold on there. So super thick, just like that. And then you'll just stick your base right on there. You just want to center it onto your, and I like to push mine down a little bit just so it really tacks up.
I guess it, and it doesn't matter which side of the wood cookie you're using, right?
Correct. Just center it right down onto that cookie there. Sorry.
She has two little girls. I think they keep her up at night.
Just a little.
Okay.
So yeah, so next we're going to glue our head.
Okay.
Scratch that. Let's not glue our head on first.
Okay.
Just because tacky glue, what you'll notice, tacky glue takes a little bit longer to dry, actually a lot longer to dry than hot glue. When you come and do some of these classes here at the farm, we typically tell you like how to create your own. to glue your head onto your body with hot glue. But because this is Zoom class, not everybody has hot glue at home and we can't send it along with you as you into your kit. I will show you how to do it with the tacky glue, but typically we will glue our heads on with hot glue. So I wanted to add that. So, and with that, since it's not dry, I want to do our bottom because we are going to be like tilting it just a little bit. That way your head doesn't fall off and you have glue everywhere.
Yeah, we don't want that. We have enough problems.
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm just going to dip my Q-tip into the glue again. I am using the same one, but if you want to use your other one, because the one you were using is kind of,
Fresh and new.
yeah, you're
Okay.
more than welcome to. And I'm just going to run this on the bottom. And yes, I'm going to cover the entire bottom. It is a-okay if you get it onto the gourd.
Because it dries clear.
It dries clear, and we're going to be covering that entire joint with the grass or greenery.
Yeah.
And you do have more glue there if you need. I'm still on my first one.
Oh yeah, I still got half of my first, so
Yeah.
I think I'll be good.
Just remember, if you do go into your second one, just leave a little bit for us to glue the head on. But I would put a good amount of glue on this bottom. So that it's nice and thick.
Have you gotten your spring stuff out yet? Or with two kids, do you not bother?
So-
Because it walks away.
No, so my husband actually just made me shelves for in our living room, and so
Oh,
now I
wow.
have a whole bunch of new shelves, and I've had just one of the 4 shelves decorated for spring. So I don't have any spring decor, so
I know where
need
you can get some.
in the store.
In the store.
Yes, I will have to do that because there's so many cute things in the store right now. At
Yes.
Meadowbrook store. There's a lot of cute things.
Okay, I think I got enough glue on there.
I think so too. So then you're just gonna take your greenery. And take it out. It'll come out. Most of them should come out in a little huddle like this. Just pull it apart.
This is the messy part of the.
Yep, just pull it apart. They should be pretty much all green, but if you have some brown spots in it, just kind of pull it out and set it to the side if you don't want brown in your grass.
Right.
And then just be careful you don't push too hard that you move your
Body.
yes off of the base. So just press it down into the side like this.
And you can always trim it up with scissors, like if
Yes.
it, give it a little haircut at the
Yeah.
very end.
Absolutely.
And then that way, so you don't have to worry about making it look pristine right now. It can
Yes.
be late,
Yes.
a little bit later on that.
Because I do typically like to tuck mine in,
Mhm.
which I'm doing a little bit, but not like what I normally do because I don't want this to slide. But I'm gonna put it around the entire bottom. Now I will add too, if you have any greenery left over and you want to put it somewhere else on your gourd, by all means, it's yours. You can do as you please. Okay,
I'm almost done.
so there's that. See, all the way around.
You might need a haircut.
Just a little. I like that we're called gourd beauticians because
How often do you give haircuts?
so we when we do scarecrows, we'll give them a haircut. So don't ever ask me to do an actual haircut because I would be terrible. But it's funny because my mom and my sister are both beauticians. So
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that is funny.
yeah.
I knew your mom was. I didn't know your sister was too.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Well, You're a beautician of gourd, so.
Yes, I'm more crafty and in that aspect, and I can give a gourd a haircut, but don't ask me to give yourself one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go around and cut mine a little bit.
Perfect. Like I said, we will need just a little bit more glue, a Q-tip for the head.
Yeah. That's a mess.
Yes.
It really is. This is the stuff that kids like,
Yes.
the mess. Okay.
All right, so like I said, the next thing that we're gonna do is glue our head to our body. So you'll need your glue, a Q-tip. Now I did get I did get the other Q-tip for this.
Yeah, I am going to. Mine was starting to get pretty nasty.
Yeah. But again, you do not have to use your other one. You can still use that first one. So just be mindful of the base that you don't, I'm gonna put some pressure on it as I hold it here to put the glue on, just so it doesn't slide. So you just put a ring of glue right around the top, just like you did for the base. I would put a decent amount of glue for this so that your head sticks. Okay. Now I also want you guys, now like for yours, I would add more glue to that.
Okay.
You want it to be really thick.
Okay. And we're going to be putting a ribbon around it.
Yes.
So it's not like you're going to see it anyway.
Correct. And I just like mine to, I just tell people to do it super thick. That way it doesn't have any chance of coming off.
We don't want decapitated bunnies.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just take my head. I'm going to hold it by the ears and I'm going to center it on the body. So I take the center of the nose and the mouth there and center that with the flower. So straight down. Now also be mindful, I am going to pick this up and I typically like to lay the head cut out on the back and then bring it forward, just so you know it's all intact and that the head's not slid off to one side or back and forth front. That way it's on the cut out there and it's a good strong hold there with your tacky glue. So that is all we're going to be able to do with this for right now. But I'm still going to show you how to tie that bow on because we have our original here that does not have a bow on. So I will show you how to tie it still. So that way you know.
I'd let that dry for
an hour.
At least an hour, even overnight. Just that way, if we try and do it now, that head's just gonna pop right off. So I think I'm gonna leave mine sit all night and then that way when I come in tomorrow. But yes, do you want to show them how to?
Yeah. So I will typically hold this between my knees and tie the bow. But for video purposes, I'm going to just do it right here. So I take the bunny. I'm trying to think of how I can. I take the ribbon. You can fold it in half, is what I typically do. If you have like a pretty decent, like you can see like part of, like you can see this one has like a pretty decent, there we go. Like you can see a lot of glue. If you want to cover that more, I would just not fold it. So you'll put it around. I take my left side of the ribbon, put it over the top, bring it up through the bottom, pull. And then I take my left side again, loop it, take my right over the left underneath and go back through that hole there and tie it tight. Pull it, and then I will hold on to the back side of the ribbon to make it tight. And then you can trim your bow ribbon here to however long you want that.
Would you like her to show that to you guys again? Okay. Like we said, I would definitely let that dry for quite a while. But once that tacky glue dries, it is so strong. It
Mhm.
actually sometimes is better than hot glue.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. If you have the time to wait.
Mhm.
So, okay, well, I think that is everything for tonight.
Yeah.
Did anybody have any questions or anything that they wanted to ask us, whether it's about the project or about Meadowbrook or anything else? Okay, well, thank you very much for spending the evening with us or the last hour with us. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. If you're missing any parts, let me know. If any questions come up that you didn't think of now, let me know. And otherwise, we'll say good night and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you.
Oh, there it is. I kept going by it.